Daniel runs towards a car, stopping it. His mother is blind, and they are always begging for food on the road. Pius gets out of the car, angry, telling her that she should go to the market to beg where her fellow beggars are. Mildred tells him to be kind to her. Faith explains that they just need food. Mildred, being a kind-hearted woman, takes them to her house. Faith tells them she is an orphan. Her husband got her pregnant and told her to have an abortion, but she refused, so he threw them out of the house. They have been sleeping in an uncompleted building ever since. Mildred offers to take care of them, giving them a room and food. She even promises to look for a doctor to perform surgery on Faith and take Daniel to a good school. Pius is not happy with the decision. She did not even consult him before making it. Ada, the house help, takes them to their room. Immediately after she leaves, Faith turns to her son Daniel, telling him to keep pretending until they achieve what they want. It turns out she is not blind. Later, while Pius and Mildred are watching television, Faith walks down the stairs and then falls. They help her up. She tells them that she wanted to get water, but Ada wasn't around and her son had gone outside to play. Mildred tells her she should not have worried herself and decides to get the water for her while Pius helps Faith back to her room. Pius kisses Faith, and they are almost caught when Mildred walks in. Pius suggests they get Faith a phone so she can call whenever she needs something, but Mildred asks how she will use it if she is blind. Pius realizes he forgot Faith was supposed to be blind. Hours later, Pius returns to Faith's room and tells her she is doing excellently with the pretending. He confesses he does not love Mildred, saying she disrespects him, treats him like a nobody, and nags a lot. Faith warns him that what they are doing is risky and he should only come to her room when Mildred is not around. As they are talking, they hear footsteps at the door. It's Ada, who had come to call Faith for dinner. While at the dinner table, Mildred tells Faith she is going to buy clothes for her and her son since they have been wearing the same ones since they arrived. Meanwhile, under the table, Faith's foot is rubbing Pius's thigh. One day, as Ada is passing by Faith's room, she overhears Faith talking to Daniel, telling him they are pretending so they can survive and most importantly so that Daddy can get money to take care of them. The following morning, Cletus the gate man comes to check on Ada. They have been sleeping together. They decide to have sex on the couch, unaware that Faith is secretly recording them. The scene shifts to Pius and Mildred sleeping together. Pius wakes up quietly and leaves her on the bed. On his way out, he sees Ada tiptoeing outside. He decides to follow her and catches her sneaking back inside. Pius asks her what she went to do outside in the middle of the night. Ada says she went to look for a rag to clean the utensils. Pius does not believe her. Meanwhile, Mildred wakes up, finds Pius missing, and hears voices downstairs. She goes to check and finds Pius questioning Ada. Ada insists she went to look for a rag to clean the kitchen floor. Mildred tells her it's the middle of the night and she could have done it in the morning. Mildred and Pius then return to their room. Mildred asks him why he was downstairs, and he says he heard strange sounds and went to check as the man of the house. The next morning, Mildred prepares to go to work, telling Pius she has an important meeting to attend. Faith checks if Mildred has left, then goes to Pius's room. Faith complains that she waited for him the night before but he never came. Pius explains there were complications and promises to make it up to her. While on her way to work, Mildred remembers she forgot something and turns the car around. At the same time, Pius and Faith are cuddling in bed after having sex. Mildred is about to open the door when she receives a phone call. As she speaks, Pius and Faith hear her voice. With nowhere to hide, Faith runs into the washroom. Mildred comes in, picks up her documents, and asks Pius why he is sweating. Pius claims he was doing push-ups. Mildred then tries to enter the washroom, but Pius stops her, saying it's dirty and hasn't been cleaned yet. Mildred leaves, and Faith immediately follows. While Faith is walking down the stairs, Ada clears her throat, startling her. Faith quickly pretends to be blind. Ada tells Faith she knows she is not blind and that she and her son are only in the house to steal Mildred's money. Ada threatens to tell Mildred, but Faith counters, saying if she does, she will release the video of Ada and Cletus having sex. Ada remembers that Mildred warned her against any sexual activity in the house, or she would lose her job. They agree to keep each other's secrets. Days later, Mildred calls Faith to check on her. She asks how her stay has been and if she would like any changes. Faith says everything is fine and thanks Mildred for her kindness. Ada comes in looking worried and asks Mildred if they can speak privately, but Mildred says it can wait. Mildred tells Faith she has made an appointment with a doctor to check on her eye. Faith says there is no need, claiming she was born blind and many doctors have tried to treat her without success. Later, Mildred asks Pius why he refused to eat. Pius asks why she always pretends everything is fine when it is not. Mildred asks if he has ever lacked anything. He tells her that as a man, he should be providing for his family, not being a house husband. He says that in their relationship, she is the man and he is the woman. Mildred pushes him, reminding him that she picked him up when he was nothing, gave him a job, and put a roof over his head. Despite all that, he still dares to disrespect her. She insults him, and he storms off. Later, Ada wants to tell Mildred what she saw but cannot, fearing that her own secret would be exposed. Instead, she confides in Cletus. Cletus refuses to get involved in gossip. The following morning, Mildred finds Pius preparing to go to work. She asks him who gave him permission to work in her company. She tells him he can have everything he wants except a job. She also tells him she froze his account and will only reopen it after they get married, but Pius refuses. He says he is tired of being kept as a house husband and that her arrogance is the reason they have not married yet. Pius goes to Faith's room to talk to her. They tell Daniel to go outside and play. Pius says he is tired of Mildred and doubts whether their plan will ever succeed. Mildred finds Daniel watching television and asks about Pius's whereabouts. Daniel says he hasn't seen him. Mildred asks Cletus at the gate if he has seen Pius, but he hasn't. She calls Pius, but he cancels her call. Faith warns Pius that he should pick up or Mildred will catch them. When Pius finally answers, Mildred demands to know where he is. He replies, "I'm where I find peace." She orders him to return home immediately. Pius and Mildred argue. Pius tells her he is tired of being treated like a slave. Mildred says she gives him everything and can do whatever she wants under her roof. Daniel walks in, calling Pius daddy, shocking Mildred. They find Faith complaining of headaches, weakness, and vomiting. Mildred calls the doctor, who tests Faith and reveals that she is pregnant. Mildred wonders who could have impregnated her. Faith points to Pius with her eyes. Mildred is shocked that Faith can see. Pius does not deny it. He says Daniel is his son and Faith is his lover. He thanks Mildred for everything she did for him when he was broke but says he could not love her because of her bad character. He recalls a time Mildred slapped him for receiving a call from someone named Jasmine, who turned out to be his mechanic. Mildred apologized and promised to change, but according to Pius, she never did. That day, while driving, Pius was so angry that he almost caused an accident. That was the day he met Faith. Faith was stressed, so he took her to a restaurant. Faith told him that she was an orphan and had stayed in the orphanage until she grew up. Now, her landlord wanted to throw her out of the house because of rent arrears. Pius promised to help her. He said that he had planned all of this to provide for his son, even after Mildred had sacked him. Pius later went to her office, and she fired him. She told him that he either had to go meet her people for marriage or stay at home. That night, Pius went to Faith and told her what had happened. He stayed until late at night. When he went back home, Mildred asked him where he had been, and he told her that it was none of her business. Mildred, as usual, reminded him that she fed him, clothed him, and housed him, so he was answerable to her. Pius simply told her that he knew she would never change, then he left. The following day, Pius stormed the gate and went straight to Mildred. He asked her why she had frozen his account. Mildred told him that the account was hers and that after he talked to her rudely the previous night, she had spoken to her manager. They discovered that he had transferred 1 million to another account, so she decided to freeze it. Pius was very angry but could not do anything. He went back to Faith. She told him that the landlord had come back and threatened to throw them out if they didn't pay the rent. By that time, Daniel had already been born. Pius went to Mildred, begging her for some money. He told her that his mother was sick and that he needed the money to take her to the hospital. Mildred told him she would not help him unless they got married. Realizing he had no other option, Pius decided to come up with a plan so that Faith and Daniel could come and stay with him. Pius told Faith that he had talked to one of his friends who had agreed to pay their rent while he looked for a job. Later, Pius thanked Mildred for everything she had done for him. Mildred begged him not to leave and promised to change, but Pius told her that one day she would find someone who truly loved her but for him, That person was Faith. He even told Faith not to pack the clothes Mildred had bought for them, she could leave them behind. He promised to work hard and buy them new clothes. The movie ends with Pius and Faith walking out of Mildred's compound,